Janine Gallo reading for Mrs. Daigle, starting on page 68. I just want to talk to your sweet little girl. She was one of the last to see my Claude alive.
Yes, I know.
Where do you keep the perfect little lady that was the last to see Claude? I thought I'd just hold her in my arms and we'd have a nice talk, and that maybe she'd remember something, any little thing.
She's out playing.
I'm just unfortunate, that's all. Drunk and unfortunate. Only she was right outside when I came by, ladies and gentlemen.
She isn't there now. I don't see her.
She's a perfect little lady. Never gives any trouble, that's what I heard. Have you got anything to drink in the house? Anything at all. I'm not the fussy type. I prefer bourbon and water, but anything will do. Oh, ain't we swank? Really, Plaza and Astor. What I came here for was to have a little talk with Rhoda because she knows something. I've called Miss Fern on the telephone a dozen times, but she just gives me the brush off. She knows something, all right.
Oh, are you all right there?
Oh, I'm not intoxicated in the slightest degree. Kindly don't talk down to me, Mrs. Benmark. I've been through enough without that.
I brought back change, Mother. Very well. Mrs. Daigle wants to see you.
So this is your little girl? Claude spoke of you so often, in such high terms. You were one of his dearest friends, I'm sure. He said you were so bright in school. So you're Rhoda.
Yes.
Come here, let me look at you. Rhoda, how about giving your Aunt Hortense a big kiss? You were with Claude when he had his accident, weren't you, dear? You're the little girl who was so sure she was going to win the penmanship medal. And worked so hard, but you didn't win it after all, did you, darling? Claude won the medal, didn't he? Now tell me this. Would you say he won it fair and square, or he cheated? These things are so important to me. Now he's dead. Would you say it was fair Claude had the medal? Because if it was fair, why did you go after him for it?
I want my popsicle. Rhoda, if you're going shopping with me, you'll have to come now. Mr. Pegason is going to show us his collection.
Right now?
We're a little late as it is. Bring your popsicle, Rhoda. You can wash upstairs.
Well, I must say.
They do have an appointment.
I'm sure they do, or practically sure. Of course, I didn't know Rhoda had all these social obligations. I thought she was like any little girl that stayed home and minded her mother and didn't go traipsing all over town with important appointments. I'm sorry I interfered with Rhoda's social obligations and important appointments. I'm sorry. Christine and I offer my deepest apologies. I'll apologize to Rhoda too when I can have an interview with her.
You haven't interfered at all.
I wasn't going to contaminate Rhoda in the slightest degree. I assure you. Ring.
Hello? Hello? Oh, yes, Mrs. Daigle. Mr. Daigle. Yes, she's here. Not at all.
Did you tell him I was drinking and making a spectacle of myself? Did you tell him to call the patrol wagon?
You heard what I said. I said only that you were here. Your husband said he was in the drugstore on the corner.
I was just going to hold her in my arms and ask her a few simple questions.
Perhaps another time would be better.
You think because I'm lit, but I'm not lit in the slightest degree, I assure you. But Rhoda knows more than she's told anybody, if you'll pardon me for being presumptuous. I talked to that guard, remember? It was a long, interesting conversation, and he said he saw Rhoda on the wharf just before Claude was found among the pilings. She knows something she hasn't told, all right. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, how can I get rid of this pest? You may fool some with that mealy mouth, but you look like Ned in the primer to me.
Then perhaps you'd better not come here again.
I wouldn't come here again for $1 million laid out in a line. I wouldn't have come this time if I'd known about Rhoda's social obligations. I won't wait for Mr. Daigle. I'll go home by myself. I know where I'm not wanted, and I'm not wanted in a place where people have all these social obligations, if you get what I mean. You're looking sort of sick and sloppy. Come over to my house and I'll give you a free beauty treatment if you're pressed for ready cash. It won't cost you a nickel.
Ding dong. Thank you, Mrs. Penmark. Come, Hortense, it's time to go home.